Good evening, guys. MWUSA Season 3, Episode 193. It is Saturday night, and I am just going to head off to one casino just to see if I can make a little money. Just a little side thing I'm doing here. I'm not going to go to multiple places. Just going to go to one casino and hopefully make some money. And that'll be it for tonight. And then tomorrow will be the long night. Where I actually go to whatever 6 or 8 locations and try to play slots, play blackjack, and everything else. This week, I mean, obviously this is the wrap up for the week. I was up around 7,200 for the week. I did just update my Excel worksheet, and I have caught up a little bit. Obviously, I've had some rough times lately, and it seems like everything is dismal sometimes because I'm still actually behind like 15,000 on my pace that I want to be on. But still, I'm up like 180,000 for the year, and that's nothing to sneeze at. You got to be happy with what you have. My goal for the year is 250K, and that's a goal that I have. I mean, I don't need that to survive, but it's a goal that I have. Taking it as seriously as I can, but I can't let it rule my life if I don't make it. Last year, I think I missed it by about 6,000, and hopefully this year we still make it. There's still time to make it, and I am pushing things a little bit harder than usual. I am getting a little bit of pushback from some of the casinos. But we do what we can. So right now I'm heading off to this one spot. Alright guys, I am back. So right now it is 11:44 p.m. and I'm just getting out of this place, and kind of explain a little bit about what happened in there, because some unusual stuff. But so I walk in, of course it's Saturday night, so it's very busy in there. And a lot of the machines that were turned off recently are back on. Some are relocated, some are gone, some are moved. So just kind of figuring things out. And I walk in, looking around, and I see a guy playing one of the first 2 machines that I normally check. I don't think anything of it. I think I'll just come back later. It's probably nothing. I go around the corner to look, and I don't really see anything. But he was hiding it, actually, because later on I found that every time someone walked by, he was hiding it, which is weird because he was playing it all the way through, so why try to hide it? But I played a couple small plays, and I was ahead like 50 right away, then about 90, and then I made a play at $3 a spin, and that one took me to being ahead about 300 and something. So I was pretty pleased with that, and I was okay if that's the way it would end. I go around and I don't really find too many other plays, but there's a couple of them that I want to check that I haven't had a chance to check because someone is sitting at them. And when you start doing this, you start to find that certain machines are the ones that you specialize in. That's the best way I could explain it, is you know the ins and outs of them, you know the true numbers, and then you know the ins and outs for each location about when to get on a machine and when to get off a machine. So, played a few more small plays, and then I see a guy on a machine, and it's a borderline play, but I know he's going to continue to play it, and it's going to get to a good position. It's $4 a spin. It's going to take a lot of money to hit it. And he was about, 750 spins away from hitting, right? For it to be profitable, you need to be about 600 away from hitting. So that 150 times 4 is $600. That's your profit. So can you make money if you get in before that? Of course. Anything can happen. Anything can happen with luck, right? But we're trying not to be lucky. We're trying to be smart. We're trying to do the right things. So I sit back and I start watching from a different machine. I've got a couple vouchers. I put them in this other machine, and then I kind of pretend like I'm looking at the screen, but I'm watching out of the corner of my eye. And pretty soon this guy surrenders. He gets up, he changes the bet level so no one can see it. I don't know why people do that. It's like, if I can't have it, you can't either, whatever. I walk up to it, and I see it's there, and I sit down, and I look at it, and it's so borderline. Like, this machine has multiple facets you have to look at and decide. And then you even might have to do some math on this one. There isn't a specific time to get in because there's multiple factors involved. So I'm checking my numbers that I got from other people, and it's so borderline. And they've recently lowered the return to player on this machine that I'm like, I'm just going to spin it for a minute or two, see how it's playing, and decide what I'm going to do. So after spinning it for a few minutes, it paid out okay, and I thought about it, and I decided it's not worth it for me, and I walked away. Now, by the time I walked away, I was ahead like $160 on this machine, but it wasn't doing what I was hoping that it was going to do. Sorry I'm vague, but so I decided to walk away from it. So I walk away, but this other machine, the one I first saw when I got there, there's a guy sitting at that. He's still there, and it's like right there. Like, give it another 5 or 6 spins, and you're gonna hit for like $600 or $700, right? So I'm like, I gotta stick around. So I'm going like 2 machines down and looking over, and he looks at me. I go like 5 machines down around the corner, and he's looking at me. I'm like, dude, just either play it or don't play it. And it looked like he was out of money because it was about $8 a spin, and he had about $30 in the machine. I'm like, he's either gonna hit or he's gonna get up, and I'm gonna sit down and take it. It's him and his wife. He sends his wife away. I'm sure it's to go get more money. I'm waiting around. I check some other stuff. I lose like $60 checking some other stuff, and then I come back, and he's moved over to the machine that I was playing. So I walk up to this one, kind of like no big deal. And I look down, and it was already, he had won it. So he cashed out $694. So with his last $30, he must have hit it because he wasn't actively spinning. So he would spin like every couple minutes, like he's trying to time it or something. He's trying to do something to get the timing so he can win. So anyway, that was a waste, and I lost like $50, $60, whatever, waiting for it. But I did end up ahead. I ended up ahead $429, which is very nice for a place like this, at a time like this when it's busy. And I really didn't see anyone else checking machines, which is super unusual. I'm sure there was somebody in there, but nobody that I saw. Maybe they're waiting until later on tonight when things clear out a little bit, but that was a nice little hit, 429. So I'm walking out to my car. I'm listening to my podcasts and stuff, not mine, other people's podcasts. But I'm listening to some podcasts, and I walk up to my car, and there's some people standing around the car. So I pause it, and I'm listening to what they're saying, and this lady's got her hood up. Well, she's directly in front of my car. Her car is directly in front of my car. She's got her hood up, and she can't start her car, and she's got one of those, I don't know, you know those battery packs? I don't know if you've been seeing them pop up, but Temu and all those stupid places have these battery packs that they're selling. Oh, never be stranded again. Well, this lady was stranded even with it, but you know, honestly, it was kind of her fault because she said she hadn't charged it in about a year. And I know from owning a battery pack better than hers, she had one of those skinny, like telephone size, you know, like cell phone size battery packs. And she hadn't charged it in about a year. But I know from the one that I have, which is a lot better, but I just didn't have it with me, that you should have it at least charged every month. So, you know, you can have it on a trickler in your garage, and just switch it out with a second one in your car or whatever you want to do. But like a trickler would be like, you put it on a timer and have it give it like 20 minutes of electric a day just to keep it charged, or whatever you want to do. So Anyway, she was trying to start it, wasn't starting, and so I saw a couple leaving the casino, and I asked them if they had jumper cables, and they said they thought they did. So we hooked up the jumper cables and tried to start it, and it wouldn't start. And I'm like, I know I've got this right here, and it turned out that, so weird, that the nut that was on the negative charge did not conduct electricity. So you had to put it on the actual pole, the actual piece of metal sticking out of the battery for it to actually work. So we touched it to that, and it worked, and she was on her way. So interesting little thing there, sidebar. I mean, she was right in front of me. I couldn't ignore it, and there was a car behind me blocking me because they were trying to help her. So I stood around and talked to them, and they're like, oh, you can leave, we can help her. And I'm like, well, you know, you're behind me, I'm not in a big hurry, so it's fine. But we got that car started, and got her on her way, got me on my way, and right now I'm heading home, relaxing, feeling good. You know, today was the last day of a fair that was nearby, and I took my youngest and a friend of his and met a classmate there, and I got them unlimited rides, and they rode everything till they were all getting ready to throw up. I got them some lemonade for darn $8 or $7 or whatever, but don't worry, refills are only $6. It's so ridiculous. And got him a corn dog. This corn dog is a foot-long corn dog. Absolutely disgusting. I would never eat it. It's made out of that pork and mechanically separated chicken stuff. And I knew that he couldn't finish it. So he finished about half of it, and I said to the other kid, I said, if I break off the part where he bit, would you eat the rest? And he said yes, so I gave him the rest. I just broke off the part that he ate from and gave him the rest. And then, we looked at some animals and things like that. And interestingly, I had talked to you guys about a watermelon eating contest, and there happened to be another contest, and that was a pizza eating contest. So there were 3 levels. There were kids under 12, 13 to 17, and then adults. And the kids under 12 would have to eat a small pizza, and I forget which one of them won, but then there was 13 to 17, and there were only a few entries, and then there were 10 entries for the adults, and the teens would have to eat a medium pizza, and the adults would have to eat a large pizza. So how fast can you eat a hand-tossed, a thick crust, Domino's cheese pizza? Well, I found out how fast I could eat it, and that's in under 7 minutes, and I won the contest. So now I've got 2 of them under my belt, so to speak, and so I won another eating contest and another whatever $25, which they gave me a check. I got to take that to the bank, but so that was fun. Now there was one really there were only 9 of us in the contest, not 10, because one lady had an interesting angle at it. She's like, well, I got to buy dinner for the family, so I'm going to get in this contest. And she ate like less than 1 slice of pizza, and they don't want the pizza back. You can take it home. So she took it home to her family for dinner. It was a kind of a smart move, kind of an AP move, right? So I did win that contest. That was fun. So right now I'm heading home, and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this episode. It's kind of a weird length, but I'll be back. All right, guys, I am back. So it's still Saturday night, and I just wanted to talk about an email I got from someone, obviously someone who hasn't heard all the episodes, but hey, there's like 560 episodes, 580 episodes, something like that. So I don't blame you for not listening to all of them yet, but His question was, how do you keep from being backed off when you play so many casinos at a high amount of money, obviously, but how do you keep from being backed off? And I've discussed this throughout the series here, and I forget that people pop in the middle of seasons and stuff and just go forward from there and don't necessarily go back and listen to everything. But here's the way that I do it. First of all, most of the time my spread is a short spread, 1 to 8, 1 to 10, sometimes 1 to 20. I've gone even higher than that, 1 to 40, 1 to 60. I've gone table minimum to table maximum, but usually I don't do that. Usually once a place knows me and I'm not a threat to them, then I'll do some crazy stuff here and there on my way out on a high count, and it's the end of the shoe and I'm ready to leave anyway, and I don't mind taking a shot with a high bet amount that's more than 1 to 10. There's a couple ways you can address it, right? So one of the easiest things that you can do is, if a place is mindful of your spread, you can start with 2 times your minimum. So let's say it's a $25 table, you want to spread 25 to 250. You can start with a $50 bet on the first hand. The pit boss comes over, taps the screen, puts in your $50 bet, and then it goes negative, you go to $25. And then when you go up to 250, the pit boss sees that as a 1 to 5 spread, not really a threat, he's not worried about it. Another thing you can do is you got to kind of be there for a while and earn their trust. What I like to do is I hit and run anywhere between 500 and 1,000 usually, and then I will leave. If a place is really sweaty, I might do less than that, but usually those places aren't worth going back to long term, unless they have like incredible rules or something like that. Another thing I do is I will talk the ear off of the pit boss. I will ask questions. What should I do here? If it's a 50-50, 12 against a 2, and the count's just there, it's a 2 point something, then I might ask their advice, and I might follow their advice because it doesn't matter. 16 against a 10 with a 0, I might ask their advice and I might follow it. I've got a minimum bet out there probably, and I should have a minimum bet unless things drastically change during the hand. And then I'll follow it. I'll ask a lot of questions, and then they won't want to hang out with me. They'll be like, man, this guy asks too much stuff. I got things to do. Get away from me. And they'll kind of leave me alone. And I did that for a long time, and I still do that when there are new people at casinos that don't know me, and it seems to work for me. I'm also very friendly, very talkative. I like to focus. I like to be left alone, but if it's somebody I'm trying to win their trust, I'll talk. In order to do that, you have to be able to keep the count and talk and do your deviations and all that stuff. So, that's another thing that I do. Another thing is I dress very plainly. At this point, people who know me, but if I'm new to a place, I'm going to be there for a day or two, I'll dress very plainly. I don't want to say exactly, but something that's not going to have logos on it. My shoes don't have logos on them. My shirts don't have logos on them. I don't wear hats with teams on them. If I wear a hat, it's a plain color. Something simple, something forgettable. So those are the kinds of things that I do. And I don't rub it in their face. I don't cheer and yell and scream and all that. And I know people who do that, and that's their game and that's their style and it works for them, but that's not who I am. I also play the role of the fool. I play the role of the guy who's always scared. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm down. My wife's gonna kill me. I gotta get this money back. I also come to the table as a loser. I come to the table as, man, I'm down 650. If I can get 500 of it back right now, I will run out of here. I'd be so happy if I got most of it back. and those kind of things work for me. So I hope those are helpful to you. If you go back to season 1, I talk about a lot of this stuff. You might want to look at the episode about rat holing as well. I may bring that to the forefront later on as well. I may have done that last season though, so if I did, I won't. But listen to those episodes in the first season. They're very dense with information, and then I kind of assume that you've heard that stuff, and I try not to repeat myself too much. So there you go. If you still have questions, let me know. I did email this person back. If you still have questions, email me again. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to say this is the end of the episode and start a new one for tomorrow. So if you have any questions or comments, the email is